welcome to King of the Pit. Before we get started, you know the drill. Please hit that like and subscribe button right down there. I really appreciate your support. All right, guys, we're going to head on over to New Jersey, New York area. I got a band out there that was formed in 2012 as a DIY project. These guys are absolutely fantastic. We sat down with Charlie and he dived deep into the New York scene. He's got so much to say. So if you want to know about what's going on in New York and New Jersey, the music scene, you've come to the right place. These guys are absolutely fantastic. The name of the band is Silencer, and they're my next featured guest today on King of the Pit. Let's go, baby!
What's up, everyone? This is Charlie with The Silencer, and you're watching King of the Pit. I'm Charlie Corletta with The Silencer. I play guitar, vocals. The Silencer started back in 2012 as a solo project of mine. When I was in between different bands, I always like to keep my writing up with lots of riffs and crazy ideas I had going on in my head. I was actually the drummer in 2 previous bands, Will Kilmore, so I wasn't able to really flex the creative muscle in terms of writing my own songs in the way that I really truly wanted to. So The Silencer was a great project at the time to be able to fulfill that need, and over the course of time, it just became a more serious project. The first single was released back in 2012. It was called Discovery of the Lost Cause. And initially, the idea behind The Silencer was something I did on the side where I would invite friends to come into the studio, to jump on a track and kind of put their little spin on the songs that I had been creating. And then through that process, it actually just became a full-fledged solo project where I wrote and recorded all the instrumentation and vocals for the various tracks that would come out. And it was a slow process. You know, I'd release like maybe 1 or 2 singles every year or so. And eventually, I decided to make this a full-fledged band, so I recruited a bunch of friends of mine and people I knew from the scene to make this a full-fledged band. And the first version of The Silencer had me still writing and recording the guitars and the vocals, but then live I would just be the lead vocalist, and I had my friend Steve Toth, who was formerly of Will Kilmore and Julius Caesar, playing all my guitar parts live. In due time, I ended up recruiting Ace Vincent, who was our current vocalist, to be our full-time vocalist, and I feel that's when The Silencer really took off, and we were really off to the races as a real full-fledged band where we had our sound locked in, just the way we presented ourselves through our music videos and live shows was just another level. So since we got Ace Vincent in the band, it's been all engines go. We did have a little bit of a hiatus. A little bit's an understatement. It was actually a 5-year hiatus after the pandemic. During that time, we actually were pumping out some amazing music videos like you've seen here. We had The Fall and Beliefs, and we were slated to be on some pretty awesome festivals, and we were making a lot of big moves. We had a presence not just on social media, but getting on different podcasts and having different interview segments, and the buzz was out there. But like it did for so many other local or regional bands, the pandemic definitely hit us in a way, and we ended up taking a break for like I said, about 5 years. And it was just this last August that we got back together for the very first time, and we had our first return show at QXT's in Newark, New Jersey, and it was an amazing homecoming event. We actually invited out some professional wrestlers because I am heavily tied to the world of professional wrestling, WWE specifically. So we had our boy Matt Riddle come out and do a signing and a meet and greet, and my best friend and brother Damian Priest of WWE came out and introduced us to the crowd, and it was just an amazing homecoming. And yeah, man, ever since then we've been chipping away, being very selective with the types of live shows that we're booking. We're trying not to oversaturate such a small market. We are located in the New York, New Jersey area, so we just wanted to get out there, do some select shows, kind of get our chops back. And 2026 has been looking really promising. We have a show actually scheduled for August 22nd, 2026 at Dingbats in Clifton, New Jersey, with our good friends at Thanatonic Desire, East Blood, and Scarlet King. So we are really looking forward to that show, and just cannot wait to round off the year with writing and recording some new music. Like I said, it's been a long time, so you can imagine with a 5-year plus hiatus, there's so much material just kind of sitting in the can that we are getting ready to record and release as new music as The Silencer. I think what makes The Silencer so unique and what makes us stand out in our scene is that, first off, I will say we're not really trying to reinvent the wheel with our music. We're just trying to stay true and honest with what we write. We don't tend to follow any type of trend. You see a lot of times bands will start to change their style to cater towards a more broad, general type of crowd, and that's never really been our MO. We've, from day one, just been very sincere with the type of music we write. We love metal riffs. You know, it doesn't matter if it's pulling inspiration from death metal, black metal, melodic death metal, metalcore, thrash, you know, power metal. It doesn't matter. We just love metal, and we as a band come from so many different walks of life with our own influences and styles that we just try to blend that all together. And if it feels right and it sounds good to us, that's what really matters. We feel that if we're being genuine to ourselves and we have passion for the music we're creating, it will translate to the audience. And it's definitely done that. You know, ever since our return, the reception has been wonderful from all the fans and all the people who've come out to see us at our gigs. And I would say that the one thing that I'm really proud of in regards to our sound is not so much the sound, but the message. Every one of our songs deals with some type of internal struggle. We dive into elements of suicide and suicide prevention, self-preservation and self-worth, you know, the infinite struggle of human existence. So really proud of the messages that we convey in our songs and in the lyrics. And overall, I think we stand out just even through the production of our music videos. We really have never spared any expense when it comes to our music videos. We worked with some amazing directors like Eric DiCarlo and Square Up Studios, as well as Alex with Black Wolf Imaging, two amazing production companies that have really set the bar for remarkable music videos in our scene. And we're not here to compete. We're just here to collaborate and be part of a scene. I think the biggest challenge in this day and age is finding that sense of community and belonging. It's so easy to get lost in the sauce with all the bands that are out there, everyone trying to make a name for themselves. What you end up finding is that the quote-unquote scene is not what it used to be, and maybe I'm just an old head for saying that, but there was a day and a time where you'd go out every weekend, and regardless of who was playing, shows would be packed, people would be there supporting one another, not just there for their band and their fan base, but everyone, regardless of the sound, would just be there. I remember being in Will Kilmore, and we'd play shows with pop-punk bands, with post-hardcore bands, and it didn't matter the type of genre. It was the sense of community and belonging that brought us all together. And not to say that isn't there anymore, it's different. People don't seem to be going out as much anymore, or as frequently, or as long. So when we do have a live show, we really try to set the bar and really try to make it an event, and really try to encourage people to be out there, not just for the Silencer, but for all the bands that are on the bill. And I gotta say, with the handful of shows we've done so far between 2025 and 2026, we've done that. You know, every show has been an event. It's not just a local show. It's something that people seem to be looking forward to being a part of. The bands come out and stay and support the other bands. They've been doing great trying to promote the shows. And all the people who come out to see the shows stick around for all the bands and show their love and show their support. So when we're booking those live gigs, our goal and our intention is to not just tear the place apart with our music, but to bring back that energy and bring back that way of life where people could come out for an event and have a good time the entire night through, and not just a 45-minute set. There's some real pros and cons to the local metal scene in New York and New Jersey. The downside of it is that it's heavily overly saturated. You know, you got a lot of the same bands playing the same venues month in and month out, and the return on that is just not what it used to be. I feel that bands are doing themselves a disservice by playing the same venues in front of the same people along with the same bands month after month. There needs to be a little bit more diversity, and maybe bands could afford to scale back on the frequency of saturating such a small market. Even though New York, New Jersey area is so large and there's so many opportunities, at the same time, venues are getting harder and harder to come by. So bands just want to be seen, they want to be heard, so they have a tendency to want to play as much as humanly possible. And while that's great for you musically, there's no doubt you're going to get tighter, you're going to become more proficient at your craft. The downside, again, is that it's not as special to the people coming out to the shows when you're playing the same venues all the time. So that's a little bit of the downside. The upside is that there are so many amazing bands that you can connect with and have the opportunity to share the stage with. And there are a few really great venues in our territory that host amazing national acts. Lucky 13's a great small venue, club venue. Dingbats in Clifton, New Jersey is another great venue. And these small club venues, as long as they're still pumping out good local bands as well as great national tour packages, then there's an opportunity for the scene to grow. There's an opportunity for emerging bands to kind of blow up and kind of find their crowd and develop their craft. So I'm just happy to be a part of it. I've been doing this since 1997, which is crazy that I'm that old. So I was part of that last generation to have the opportunity to really be in a spot where I could be successful as a club musician. I was playing at Lemoore in Brooklyn and CBGB's on Wednesday and Thursday nights when I was 16, 17 years old, opening up for my favorite bands, opening up for bands like In Flames, and jumping on the craziest shows, 6 Feet Under, Earth Crisis. It was such a wild and amazing time. And just seeing the transformation and the evolution of the music industry and how things have progressed and digressed, it's been a wild ride. And I'm just happy that at 43 years old, I still get to be a part of this, and people are still coming out to shows and still showing their support, still sharing our content, still buying merch. I think now you're getting the absolute best version of the Silencer. The material that we're gonna be recording and releasing is undoubtedly the absolute best yet. I think our sound has become very refined and very polished. I think that 5-year hiatus served us very well. We all found ourselves as musicians. We all got better at our craft, kind of like a fine wine, you get better with age. Well, I definitely believe that's the case with the Silencer. Prior to now, our songs are blistering. Like there's tons of riffs. It's like riff salad in our music, and that's not a bad thing if that's your cup of tea and that's what you're into. I love writing songs that are just full of just riff after riff after riff, transition after transition. But now what we've been seeing, what works in the live setting and what fans have been responding to, elements of our songs that people are really latching onto, we've been able to kind of take that and put it into a new songwriting process where, believe me, the riffs are still there, the hooks are still there, but it's just a little bit more refined and it makes sense to the average listener a little bit more. And that opens up the gateway for us to be able to hopefully get a little bit of a new audience and then expose them to some of the more hardcore stuff that we're into writing. You're still going to get the catchy hooks, you're still going to get those memorable choruses, and accompanied by some great riffs. But then hopefully that opens the door to have people check out our more technical stuff, our more progressive stuff, because we are musicians first and foremost, and we're music geeks and nerds. So we love being able to flex that muscle, and we just hope that everyone who's listening is able to appreciate the music as much as we do. So for the remainder of 2026, the main focus is going to be on our August 22nd show. Like I talked about, playing Dingbats in Clifton, New Jersey. It's an all-age show. After that, it's all engines go with writing and recording. I've actually been shopping some of the pre-production work and demos to some labels, most notably Nuclear Blast, and trying to get back on their radar, and have already received some remarkable feedback that is kind of like life-changing. You're always looking for these small victories when you're in a band. You're always plagued with challenge after challenge, and when you have really positive feedback from people in the industry that you look up to, some of which are at the absolute highest of the totem pole, you start to find yourself really encouraged and motivated to keep going. And so for us, the remainder of the year is going to be focusing on new music and finally getting all that new music out to the world. Like I said, it's been since 2020 we haven't released any new music, so it's going to be a remarkable accomplishment for us to be able to get that new music out to everyone. And what does the future hold after that? Who the hell knows? You know, for us, it's going to be business as usual, getting the music out there, getting on those live shows, getting our name out there to people who've never seen or heard us before. I would really love for us to be able to jump back on some festivals for 2027 and get back to supporting some of those national tours and acts that come through. And yeah, you know, I will say it's a little bit more challenging now because we are getting older and everyone kind of has other priorities aside from the bands. You know, 2 of our members have kids now and families. Our drummer Zacky's in like, I don't even know, 1,000 bands. Zaki Ali, he is a producer, an engineer, drummer, guitar player, songwriter, composer, and he works with so many New Jersey bands, so his schedule is very, very limited. And for my other guitarist, Greg, and I, it's just a matter of kind of lining everyone's schedules up so that we could do this to the best of our ability, given those schedule limitations. But I think that's not a bad thing. Like I was mentioning earlier, you know, not oversaturating ourselves is a good thing, and making our live shows an experience, an event, and not just another local gig is really important to us. So I think this has actually worked in our benefit, and having that extended time, because not everyone's always available, allows me as a songwriter the opportunity to take more time on focusing on new material without the harsh pressure of a deadline. You know, the Silencer used to work with deadlines, and while that was great for us, it kept us motivated and pushed us forward to produce a product. Sometimes, you know, there was too much pressure, too much stress, and we would be rushing through the process because we were very eager to get something out. Now we take our time with it, and I think it's benefiting us really well. So for 2027, look for the Silencer to be playing some more live shows, getting that new music out, hopefully land some kind of management or record deal. Got to get those Spotify numbers up, so definitely stream us on Spotify and Apple Music. And yeah, again, just really humbled and honored that I could still be doing this at 43 years old, playing extreme metal and have people who still actually care about what we're doing. It's such a great feeling. I think the biggest thing I would like people to take away from the Silencer's music is that look into yourself when you're listening to our music, read the lyrics, and see how you can identify with the message on any particular song. I think you'll be really surprised with how much it's able to motivate and inspire you. You know, pulling from the human experience is at the heart of what we do. And if you really tap into that, the music starts to make a lot more sense, especially when you tie it in with some of the messages we've had in our music videos over the years. Use it as fuel to motivate you to live your dreams, to aspire to be something greater than you could have ever imagined. Because one thing I'm a real big believer in is self-manifestation and living for something bigger than what this world tells you is the average. You know, you have the ability to do remarkable things. If you have a dream, you can absolutely achieve it. There's no reason why you can't. You just sometimes need that motivation. You need that support. You need to be surrounding yourself with the right people and have the right mindset. And listen, if you have to work at your own pace to achieve your dreams and goals, fine. That there's no problem with that. There's this emphasis on like grind culture and like, you know, just being on the grind. And yeah, you have to be on the grind, but at the same time, you have to work at a pace that works for you. You cannot force it to happen. It'll happen when you least expect it, as long as you're being consistent. You have to be consistent. Consistency is key to all of this. And man, I promise you, the things I've done in my lifetime, you know, maybe, I don't know, 1 to 2% of the population can say they've done. I've been able to live out so many of my dreams over the years, and that's a whole nother interview and podcast to get into that stuff. But I promise you, you know, if you can imagine it and you can talk it, you can work it into existence. You just have to put in the work, be consistent, work at a pace that works for you, and not give up. If you need to take a break sometimes, as long as you get back on the horse and keep riding, you'll get there. So don't ever give up on yourself. Don't ever give up on your dreams. Remember that you're worth it. And this life, no one has it right. No one's living the perfect life. Everyone has their struggles and their shortcomings. You are not alone in this fight. You are not alone in the struggle. Believe me, take it from someone who knows. Just try to stay as positive as you can, and remember that you are not alone in this life, and there's always someone willing to help you, support you, listen to you, regardless of your struggles. Or if you need someone to lend a helping hand when it comes to your dreams and goals, there will always be someone there to support you. So don't give up on yourself, and yeah, keep listening to amazing fucking metal, because that's where it's at. You can find The Silencer on all major music platforms, streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music. Check out our music videos on our official YouTube page, The Silencer TV. That's where you'll find our latest videos for the fall, Beliefs, as well as some past singles like Within, Die Trying, I Archaic. Follow us on Instagram at The Silencer Music and on Facebook. And yeah, let's link up.
Somebody, someone Born again.